Could you maybe share a little bit more about, how it's evolved from a marketplace experience and then maybe even kind of like the business?
Yeah, absolutely. So for the first 20 years of the existence of the platform, really, it operated as Yellow Page. This thing, you go there, you find the supplier, you communicate with our chat tools, and then you take the transaction off the platform. That has been really Alibaba.com for 20 plus years, right? It was only 5 years ago that the China leadership team decided to really invest in that kind of like marketplace and turn it into a truly functioning marketplace, really, and open up the platform outside of China as well, right? And I was one of the first hires, as I mentioned, to join and help in that. So the work and the evolution could be really described in 4 phases, if you want. The phase 1 was moving from this listing platform for this kind of like media business, if you want, like Yellow Pages, which was focused on sending leads to Chinese manufacturers to a marketplace, right? Where transactions take place on the platform, where you have integrated services, payments, logistics, inspection, financing, name it, right? But and supporting a lot of different trade routes rather than just the China-US. The second transformation in the second phase was more around how do you expand the supply beyond the existing one, right? We started with like just a few thousand sellers globally to tens of thousands today globally, right? And very soon we will be 50-50, 50% coming from China and 50% from the rest of the world. Phase 3 of that transformation, I would say, was investing in our buyers. We already had a very large buyer base of 20 million plus active buyers, but how do you hone in on that? How do you scale that? How do you increase the wallet share? We more than doubled the size of our buyers, kind of like the list of our active buyers. And on top of that, we obviously drove tens of billions of GMV as a result of that. And then the last phase, which is what I've been focusing for the last few years, I would say, is growing in adjacent markets, right? Okay, so now we created this marketplace. We have the right category, that we have tested kind of like all the right elements, and this is growing beautifully, and we can replicate it in different countries and different regions. But which are other kind of like locations, other customer segments, other kind of like verticals, or other kind of like services that we want to be part of, not just from an Alibaba perspective, but through investments, right? So I've been focusing a lot on that. So by any kind of measure, I mean, it has been an amazing journey. Build a team in the US and globally. We went from like 0 GMV to tens of billions of sourcing GMV, which translates really to hundreds of billions worth of goods that are being resold on Shopify, on Amazon, right? Like the easiest way to think about that is what you're buying as a consumer. At some point of time, it has originated at Alibaba, right? To be created. And then went from kind of like triple-digit million with kind of like flat to low single-digit growth to billions with double-digit growth, and the fastest growing business unit in the group. So definitely very, very happy and very proud of the results, but also a lot of lessons and a lot of hiccups along the way, right? That I'm more than happy to learn because that's how we all learn, right? And that's how I learned along the way too.